So the consensus number one tight end in the draft is obviously Brock Bowers from Georgia. Who stands 6'3" weighs 243, and ran a 4.4840.
So some quick background on Brock Bowers. Once again, this is from NFL Draft Guide from The Ringer. Danny Kelly does a great job with that, and in particular, Daniel Comer does backgrounds and stats. So Brock Bowers is a junior and a former 4-star prospect out of Napa, California. He was second team AP All-American his true freshman year in 2021. Started 13 of 15 games and finished the season as UGA's leading receiver with 56 catches for 882 yards and 13 touchdowns, the highest single season total in school history. 2022, he played in all 15 games and won the John Mackey Award as the nation's best tight end, and was a semifinalist for the Bolitnikoff Award, which is typically a receiver award, but in this case would be a pass catcher. He led UGA in every major category, again in every major receiving category again in 2023. He won the John Mackey Award for the second consecutive year, and again was a semifinalist for the Bolitnikoff Award. And he ranked among the top 5 at his position in PFF grade in each of his college seasons. He missed a few games in the 2023 season after suffering a high ankle sprain, but he underwent tightrope surgery in October and returned in November. He is as much of a unicorn as we've ever seen at the tight end position coming into this draft.
Yeah.
Long story
Yeah,
short.
so I mean, basically, it's like off the charts everywhere. Agility, balance, explosiveness. A lot of like professional scouts say he's the most NFL ready tight end they've ever seen. And obviously we heard a lot about like most recently, like Kyle Pitts coming out of the draft. And we know that there is a hard transition for tight ends to the NFL. That's probably one of the harder positions to transition in. But scouts don't often claim tight ends are NFL ready because of that, and they are claiming that Brock Bowers is NFL ready. He was a absolutely proven playmaker with incredible ball handling, really gets a lot of yards after contact. His teammates have literally nothing but good things to say about him as a leader, about his energy, about all of that. Genuinely, really the only downside is that he did have a lot of wear and tear, was used a lot in college, and obviously that previous ankle injury. In my thoughts, there was one area. It's that he was a little reliant on mismatches in college. But I don't think that takes away from his ability. I do think that resulted in a little bit more of those bigger explosive plays, the mismatches, but I don't think it takes away at all on how talented he is.
Yeah, he's insane. He's extremely versatile. 40% of his snaps came from the slot and 11% came from out wide,
Mhm.
which kind of leads me into something that could be viewed as both a strength or a weakness, or a pro or a con, depending on where he lands, really. And that's the fact that he's 6'3", he's 243. He's not huge, so he's a bit undersized,
Yes.
and he could be viewed as a tweener in the NFL, which
Mm,
isn't necessarily a bad thing,
mm,
completely depending on how the team uses him. But I think I look at Kyle Pitts and I think, okay, I'm going to look at how Arthur Smith used him. Not well. Uh,
yeah.
so he needs to land not in a very specific spot, but in a spot with someone creative enough to get the most out of him. Not someone that is just going to expect him to line up as an inline tight end, do some
Mhm.
blocking, do some, short yard cat. Like he's a weapon, unicorn. He's an incredible explosive vertical playmaker.
Mm,
He's incredible after the catch. He averaged 8.7 yards after the catch per reception in 2023,
yeah.
sixth among all tight ends in the FBS. And he totaled 18 missed tackles forced, which was second among tight ends in the year. So I just pray to God that he goes somewhere that knows how to use
Mhm.
him. Just put him somewhere creative. Do not send him to Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
where Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin are going to do nothing with him. Like he could still be good,
Mhm.
but when you're looking at Brock Bowers, and we'll kind of go into this more when we get to the mock draft, and um, when you're taking a tight end with such premium draft capital, there's different levels of what will make him worthy of that draft capital and how you use him.